120,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's how much you spend on one employee in just 1 year. So shouldn't we allocate them to do something more productive other than checking health records all day long? Today, we will be pitching to you a solution to a problem that I'm sure all of you have faced during the COVID-19 pandemic, and that is ineffective health record checking. So first, let's start off with our problem and how it affects everyone involved. So first off, we have our workers, who are absolutely bored that they have to do this repetitive process of checking health records all day long. Then next up, we have our business owners, who are devastated that they have to spend extra money on DIY solutions that are not just ineffective, but also very expensive. And thirdly, we have our customers, all of us, and we all know how inconvenient it is to try to waltz around 5 different hands to try to scan the Leave Home Safe QR code. And so in short, we know that this problem causes a pain for every stakeholder involved. And so what does this tell us? Well, this tells us that the current COVID-19 health check procedure is just ineffective, and DIY solutions are not going to cut it. Not only are they ugly, but they're also inadaptable, and they're also very expensive. And this is all fine if it's just 1 or 2 businesses that are affected by this problem. But more than 35,000 Hong Kong businesses, large businesses, are actually suffering from this problem. And so we do know that it is something indeed that is worth solving. So first of all, it has to be configurable. It has to be able to quickly adapt to the rapidly changing local rules. Secondly, it has to be contactless to minimize COVID-19 transmission risk. And thirdly, it has to be convertible in order to even stay relevant after the pandemic. And so Kelvin, were we able to come up with a solution that meets this 3C?
Yes, we can. Introducing Archie, a 24/7 fully automated and configurable AI receptionist to every business owners. So what do we have in Archie? We have 4 main core features: mask detection, temperature check, health record verification, as well as 1 scan NFC scan. So for the first 3, it'll be all available and ready to go to all business owners who have their Archie in hand. And for the last one, it stands for near-field communications, where we allow users and business owners to send and receive health record in form of a NFC format. However, it still needs some kind of collaboration with the government as we can does involve some technical details. By placing Archie in front of the premises, we'll be able to initiate all the health check procedure without any human intervention. So how does Archie work in real time?
So first off, users just have to simply approach Archie. And then Archie will, using its machine learning abilities, it would be able to check if the user is wearing a mask and also check if they're within the acceptable temperature range. And then afterwards, if the NFC scan is approved, then they can just simply tap their phone to verify their health record. Or alternatively, they can scan the Leave Home Safe QR code and show it to Archie to authenticate it. And so within just 10 seconds, the users would be able to go into business premises without any hassle, and businesses would be able to ensure that every single one of their customers are safe and healthy. Indeed, what can Archie do even more after the pandemic? Well, in our second phase, we will be transforming Archie from an AI receptionist meant simply for health record checking into a one-for-all solution that can be customizable for all businesses. So Archie will have the capabilities to collect customer data, analyze it, and then integrate it in order to make hyper-personalized customer experiences. And so how do we do this? Well, we do this through the use of software add-ons. So we have software add-ons that will have customized core features that will be curated for different business types. And so users would just simply have to choose one software add-on, and they would be able to have an Archie that best fits their needs. And so an example of this would be
Restaurant add-on. By placing Archie in front of the restaurants and connecting to the restaurant database, we'll be able to offer daily menu recommendations to every customer to come into the restaurants. Besides that, because Archie is NFC enabled, whenever customers have their membership card tapped in front of Archie, we'll be able to give them exclusive rewards and discounts whenever it's their birthday or even whenever they're doing some special events. Even more, with Archie, we'll be able to let customers to book or make a reservation of table or a seat by just having Archie. With all this, we can greatly reduce the manpower we need in a restaurant and also greatly improve the customer experience. And Tiffany walked you through the second offering.
Next up, we also have a security add-on in which it doesn't apply just for businesses, but it can even be used for residential areas. So with this add-on, users can be sure that the people coming into the premise are those who are from a verified list. And so we do this through the use of facial identity recognition as well as through NFC.
All right then, how do we generate revenue with Archie? In the current offerings, we'll be launching a set of COVID-related features, and in the future offerings, we'll be offering more extensive features to different sectors of the industry of the business owners. We'll be still charging the Archie at a price of $2,000, and this will be able and enough to cover all our administrative and also hardware costs of producing Archie. And by the software subscription, Whenever users can just pay hundreds of dollars, and then they can get all the software that suits their business need, and then we provide them all the software add-on to them. They don't have to care anything about the technical details behind the software. And we believe that this is going to be a competitive pricing strategy, given that we add so much value to each of the business sector. In short, after years of dealing with COVID, we have seen a lot of inefficiencies in our day-to-day workflow processes. Employees have to spend a great deal of amount of time just to check their procedures, the health check procedures. However, these are all low-value activities. What if they can use this time instead to do something more meaningful, something that can truly grow their business? Here today, we offer Archie as a solution not only to digitalize the workforce. Not that we're trying to replace them, instead we're trying to make the employee's life less hectic. Archie is not only a product born for the pandemic, it's also a gateway to the future, by which we unleash the potential of technology to tackle future crises in real time. For now, for the future, thank you.
Thank you for the UST team.
For the health check, I think you have to also look at what's happening there. I mean, we also go to restaurants. You have to open your app, scan the LeafSafe to generate a QR code, and then there's an app there. So I guess as a consumer, actually recently I've been going through that every day. I don't find it particularly difficult. I think for business owners, all they need is a mobile phone. They have an app, so it seems working. So when you want to bring new solution, you really think about what additional benefits you bring into the business owners. So for example, for restaurant, I think the staff that, there's a human labor, but then they not necessarily just check the health check. They actually take you to the table. Unless your app can completely remove this step, I think you talk about to reduce labor costs, probably it's not going to happen. So actually, I think just for health check only, maybe some building entry application could be useful. And then if you can have something integrated with like a gate entry, automatic gate entry system, then that can be fully automated. So that's probably something you can think about. And then also you mentioned that your convertibility in the future, you can change anything, but then back towards Professor Feng said, actually you're going to compete with every specialized kiosks already existing. Then you also talk about your business model, this hardware cost, this subscription. So for me, I think, if you want to go for a subscription, you might as well just loan the device to the business owners. You just charge a subscription, or you just go for the one-off. You try to combine both. I just feel like probably it's not going to be competitive enough.
Any quick response from the team?
Yep, thank you so much for the question. I think for the first question,
Yes. Actually, one of your points were quite valid points, and we did consider about that. However, as you can also observe from the current environment, we need to be flexible, we need to be liquid, and we need to be adapting to literally every situation that can happen. Archie provides liquidity, essentially, to this problem. Yes, now we're getting used to scanning our QR codes with Leave Home Safe, etc. But once upon a time, this wasn't existing either. It happened slowly. Businesses needed to adapt to this, and it took time. We are allowing this. We are allowing the government essentially to take quick actions against COVID. So in that sense, we believe this is still a good investment, which will still give governments heads up, and also businesses to protect themselves in case of any sudden regulatory changes.
Yeah, I like the idea. Like the previous idea, I like integrating things. But you present your story from the perspective of like an employer, and how can I save the time for my employees and this sort of thing. I think at the present moment, the nuisance is actually not with the employee, the staff. The nuisance is actually with the customers. Every time when we enter into place, we have to do this, and all that. So if you change your perspective from the perspective, not from the employer perspective, but from a user perspective, like which is you and me entering into a restaurant, entering into a cup house, and all that, with the multiple steps, which is really is a pain. From that perspective, how would you actually change, your model and also, especially in particular, your business models?
Yeah, you just.
So that is essentially why we added the NFC module in it. We are looking forward to cooperate with the government to create an NFC tab, just like you use on your iPhones. If you ever used Apple Pay or Samsung Pay, you know how that works. We're planning in the future to add that in cooperation with the government, so that our users can just tap away and go into the restaurants easily.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.